imagine the full-blown passion being a huge fire that you just cannot stop, it just goes by itself, I would say it starts as a small spark. So it starts with a small spark, and how you can find that spark is, if you don't know yet what your passion is or what you're interested in, it is by trying out lots of different things and seeing what gives you that little bit of spark. Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. And in this episode, I wanted to talk to you about purpose and passion and how I view it myself. And if you feel that you don't really know what your purpose and passion is and you're freaking out, I think this is a perfect episode for you to watch and listen in, because it might have the answers that you're looking for. And I think I wanted to start with the biggest misconception about purpose or passion. And the biggest misconception is that you just do something once and then you feel this full-blown passion for something and you just found it. It just happens to embark on you and now you have it, now you have your passion. And I think for some people, or for 1% of the population, that was the case. But I also do believe that passion is not something that just happens in that very second, but something that you build up slowly. And if we imagine the full-blown passion being a huge fire that you just cannot stop, it just goes by itself, I would say it starts as a small spark. So it starts with a small spark, and how you can find that spark is, if you don't know yet what your passion is or what you're interested in, it is by trying out lots of different things and seeing what gives you that little bit of spark, what you start enjoying doing a bit more than other things. And if you have not found it yet, it's probably because you have not exposed yourself yet to a lot of new things. So that's why it's very important to get that exposure and to be trying out new activities and doing new things. And what I wanted to say as well is that sometimes it's also important to try out something new, not only once, just because, let's say, you suspect that you might be passionate or you might be interested in dancing, and then you go to the dance class and actually you went there when you had your worst mood, you're not feeling so good, and you did not enjoy the class at all. But maybe it was just your state at that moment that influenced your decision whether you like it or not, and you didn't feel that little spark, because it's very sensitive, it's very small, it's shy, it doesn't want to show itself. So you need to be very vigilant and looking for it. So then once you're trying out new things, and maybe a few of those new things are actually sparking your interest, and actually how you go from having that little spark and noticing it to having a full-blown fire is by nurturing it, by actually spending more and more time doing it, because you actually get better once you do it, and your brain starts enjoying that process of getting better at it, and you actually, from neurochemical perspective, you start having all of those dopamine hits from actually getting better at whatever it is that was your small spark. So in our dancing example, maybe you went there and you enjoyed that class. There was a little spark. You're like, that's an interesting feeling. Never felt like that before. And then you keep going to the dance class, to those dancing classes, and you keep getting better. Now you remember the movement so much faster. Now you can learn the whole dance just in one class, and it used to take you a week or 2 weeks, a month, and you're getting better, and it becomes also part of who you are, and it becomes this passion of yours. And then you cannot just stop going to dance classes, because it's not only part of your identity, but now it's such a big passion of yours that you cannot even imagine your life without it. But probably it from the moment it was that little spark to the moment that it is a full-blown fire, it has taken a few years, maybe a decade, maybe a few decades for you to have this full-blown passion. So when you look at the people who already found what they really want to be doing, and it's probably because it's been already some time since they discovered this little spark, but probably since it was already there was a bit of time between they between them finding that little spark and then actually having this full-blown out passion. So with this video, I really wanted to encourage you to not get discouraged. You're just early on your journey, and just try out the different things and see what does spark your interest. And for me personally, something that sparked my interest was self-help area and self-development, and I knew once I started diving deeper into it, it was a world that I really wanted to explore. I was fascinated by that. I was fascinated by the impact that it has had on my life, and I also wanted to ensure that other people can have those revelations that I've had, because my life has been fundamentally impacted by the world of self-development and self-help, and I wanted to serve others in that way that it served me. So once I found my spark, I knew that I really wanted to invest more and more in learning about different self-development tools, paradigms, everything. So basically psychology, finance, economy, leadership, how the brain works, everything. I'm just still in this world. It's been a few years now that I'm into it, but it's definitely already starts getting closer to that full-blown fire and that passion of mine. So what is your spark? Have you found it? Let me know if you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, and I'll see you in the next episode.